Welcome to Studio 5. Singer and songwriter Elias Dummer is here for a sit-down and a performance. And Lin-Manuel Miranda has actually 4 musical movies coming out this year. We're going to take a look at the latest, but let's begin as we do each week, counting down the top 5 stories in the world of uplifting entertainment. Here's number 5 and 4.
At number 5,
Simone Biles is back on the Olympic medal podium, taking home the bronze for balance beam. China awarded the gold and silver. Simone's routine was nearly flawless except for one wobble, finishing with a double pike dismount. Once finished, every beam competitor hugged her. She withdrew from the team final a week ago and then one by one each individual event, vault, bars, and floor. Instead, taking on the role of team cheerleader, making room for some of the other members of Team USA to shine.
at number 4.
Sir, don't be alarmed. I'm coming down.
Oh, thank you. The rescue team is here. A dog?
Actually, sir, I'm a puppy.
A Studio 5 first look at the famous voices behind the highly anticipated Paw Patrol, the movie, ahead of its August 20th release.
Liberty reporting for duty.
Here are some dogs that just won't roll over.
Ow, ow!
What do we have here?
You totally messed with the wrong dogs.
Oh!
We'll return to the countdown in just a little bit and pick it back up at number 3. But first, let's begin with worship leader Elias Dummer. He's making headlines with his new music and his call for the church to be a safe space for people to ask tough questions. If you don't know Dummer by name, you probably know his music. He helped to create one of Canada's most acclaimed worship bands, the City Harmonic. And he has a new solo album. It's called The Work Volume 2. He's also a husband and father of 5.
I'm not what I make, I am who you have made me to be.
Now, checking out your social media, you describe yourself Jesus, family, words, and overthinking?
Yeah.
What's the overthinking?
When you write worship songs, you're writing songs that people will one day pray. You're writing songs that people will that may one day shape their theology, their view of the world, and all of that. And I really feel the weight of that.
I'm not who I know, I'm known by the King of all kings.
Folks may not have known your name because you were singing with the City Harmonic, so you're looking, group setting there. And then a song that's really popular for your group, Manifesto. What's the story behind how that came to be?
Well, it's funny because the story of that song is really the same story behind the band name of that band and much of what we tried to do. We're from a city called Hamilton in Ontario, Canada, which for many years was like the target of Canada's joke. It was kind of this it was a steel city that didn't make steel anymore and kind of became a fairly run-down, poor place. In fact, I grew up 2 blocks from what was called the Red Zone at the time, which was the poorest urban neighborhood in the country. In the midst of that, downtown was abandoned and a few churches, relatively small churches, started working together. They would say, working together for the good of the city. And the City Harmonic arose out of that movement of churches working together. And in that time, in about 10-year span, Hamilton went from the red zone to one of the top real estate investment cities in the country. So Manifesto was really just, what's our common ground? What can we stand on that we all as Christians can stand on and knowing firsthand the difference that can make in the world?
What surprised you about that particular song? It certainly lasted a long time. What surprised you guys about it?
Well, as a guy who overthinks things, it's a relatively simple song. So. And I think, in a sense, it's a little bit of a bummer as a lyricist because everyone gets really wrapped up on this simple song. When the song was first selected by our radio promoter at the time, we argued with him, for weeks. Yeah, we said, no, this is not the song. And he stuck to his guns, thank goodness, and off we go.
The buzz and the conversation now is around the drop of expectation.
It was interesting because we wrote it before the pandemic and everything that came along with it. At my own church, we were going through this season of wrestling of like, okay, we've got folks from all kinds of different places coming together in worship every week. And to what extent are we offering them a call to worship where not only are they encouraged to expect that God can do something in their life here and now, but that they see themselves in the song. Maybe you're coming with childlike wonder and trust and you're in a great position. Or maybe, frankly, you're at the back of the room with your arms crossed and you're not sure why you're there and you're filled with questions and doubt and hurt and all these things. And we all know in the wake of the pandemic that many people are coming to church in exactly that place.
What a unique time to be living in this country, you know, coming from Canada or anywhere in the world, coming from Canada.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, no, it's been interesting for sure. I often feel like I get to play the foreign card in conversations because I can't vote in this country, and I don't have a, for lack of a better word, I don't have a dog in the fight, right? I'm looking at this and seeing that we're very divided, you know, in this country. I've been here long enough, I say we. We're very divided. I mean, the church is divided over a million different issues. And I'm grateful, not to go full circle, but I'm grateful in a sense for what I saw happen in my hometown. I know that if we can stand on our common ground, that a real difference can be made in the world in terms of how we treat each other and how we approach the problems of the world.
You actually write about and have studied the scientific benefits of corporate singing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I've been into kind of science and neuroscience and that kind of stuff for a long time. And one of the things that's really cool about worship in particular is, and I think is often overlooked, is that really singing together, just the machinery of singing together, in some ways accomplishes some of what Jesus says in love the Lord your God with heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Singing together releases oxytocin in the brain, which is often called the love hormone. So there's this sense in which when we literally sing together, just the machinery alone is a discipleship tool. And I think that's just an incredible thing that we, you know, the world ought to know. We do this thing and it matters and it makes a difference.
That very first single from Elias's sophomore album is called Expectation. It was released back in July, and he's grabbing his guitar and coming back for an in-studio performance of the tune in just a little bit. Stick around for that.
Still ahead.
Hey, Vivo, are you scared? You know, my dad used to sing to me when I was scared.
We have a look at Lin-Manuel Miranda's latest movie musical.
It really was about sort of music and friendship and in a weird way, grief, but in a way that felt very accessible to people of all ages.
He's taking Studio 5 inside the making of Vivo. It's coming up next.
Orphans Promise is committed to loving and serving at-risk children, to helping keep families together, and to creating opportunities for strong and sustainable communities around the world. We're working in over 60 countries around the world, and with your help, we can do even more. There's an old African proverb I love that says, if you want to run fast, run alone. But if you want to run far, run together. At Orphans Promise, we want to run far so we can touch the lives of as many orphaned and vulnerable children as possible. But we don't want to go alone. We're out to change the world, one child, one family, one community at a time. Will you join us?
Number 3.
Somebody's got to host it. That's me. Somebody's got to watch it. That's you.
on PureFlix.
Emmy-winning Dirty Jobs host Mike Rowe is on a mission with a new show. Somebody's gotta do it.
I'm Mike Rowe, and I'm on a mission to find somebody on a mission. Somebody who's got a passion.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like what you do?
25.
There we go.
Somebody who's got a calling.
Pretty excited.
Somebody who's making our world a little bit brighter.
I love to make things that make people smile.
A little bit bigger. A little bit better.
What has the opportunity to spend time with these people, what's that done to you?
Personally, I'm still trying to calculate it. I mean, for me personally, when the dust settled, it was all just a big reminder that when you're fundamentally grateful, it's very, very difficult to feel anxious or angry or bitter or resentful.
At number 2. Dolly Parton penned the tune Whitney Houston made famous, and now she's sharing what she did with the earnings from Whitney's recording.
What is the best thing that you bought or invested in with money from your I Will Always Love You royalties?
I bought my big office complex down in Nashville, and so I thought, well, this is a wonderful place to be. I bought a property down in what was the black area of town, and it was mostly just black families and people that lived around there, and it was just off the beaten path from 16th Avenue, and I thought, well, I am going to buy this place. It was a whole strip mall, and I thought this is the perfect place for me to be, considering it was Whitney, and so I just thought this was great. I'm just going to be down here with her people, who are my people as well, and so I just love the fact that I spent that money on a complex, and I think this is the house that Whitney built.
Welcome back to Studio 5. We now have just one more story to share in this week's countdown. We'll pick it back up in just a moment. Hamilton creator Lin-Manuel Miranda has 4 movie musicals coming out this year. The newest is out this week, and it stars a kinkajou, a honey bear. Here's your Studio 5 first look at Vivo.
Come down from the tree. You can stay with me.
My name is Lin-Manuel Miranda. I am the songwriter on Vivo, and I also play Vivo. When it came to music, Andres and I became so in sync. Not a moment out of place until the letter came.
Martha.
It is a love letter to the 2 things that I think live forever, like music and love.
Nothing would mean more to me than for us to sing together again.
So you guys were like a duo?
She was also the love of my life, but I never told her how I felt. All my love, I put it into a song.
Vivo is a kinkajou, which are not common to Cuba, but he sort of found himself there through an accident of circumstance and was rescued by this incredible musician named Andres.
Vivo, you must deliver this song to Martha. She needs to know that I love her.
Martha, here I come. Along the way, he meets Gabby.
Martha needs to hear this song, and I'm gonna get you there. Get in my
And this
bag.
friendship forms between Vivo and Gabby.
The mission for love is on. Can I pet him?
No.
Go to town. His name's Vivo. He's a possum.
Gabby, that's a kinkajou.
It really is kind of a road movie. Sort of like when life throws changes at us, how do we adapt and how do we keep going? But it is their journey to deliver that song from Havana to Malta.
Martha, here we go.
What are you doing?
Sometimes you gotta improvise.
For him to meet someone like Gabby, who has never found a rule she couldn't break, is quite the odd couple pairing. When his life is upended, how do you adapt to that? And I think there's a lesson in that for all of us.
We don't have much time.
Adapt when life changes on you.
I don't know, but sometimes you gotta improvise.
And she missed. Life will throw you curveballs, and Vivo rises to the occasion.
Unbreakable bonds, that's what we got.
That love, Gabriela, that love lives forever in your heart.
This movie talks about love in a really open and uncomplicated way.
Keep the beat. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, you can't stop now. Let's keep the beat going, partner.
Well, there you have it. Vivo begins streaming to Netflix this Friday. That is August 6th, 2021. And while we await that release, here's something you don't have to wait for any longer. It's this week's Story in Pictures, your Studio 5 Snapshot.
Happy birthday to a creation that changed the world of music and television. You could say it married the two. MTV is celebrating 40 years. These are just a few of the memorable images and exhibits honoring this cultural phenomenon. And together, they are this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. I still want my MTV. Coming up next.
Blessing and honor, glory and power, beauty and wisdom forever and ever.
Elias Dummer returns to render us all speechless with his musical gift.
Life is better with a good night's sleep. Get your free DVD or booklet of Protect Your Sleep as the world watches from the outside.
It's a big diplomatic tug-of-war here in the Middle East.
Go inside the story with Jerusalem Dateline.
Israeli archaeologists are talking about a discovery that could change the thinking about the Temple Mount.
Join CBN Jerusalem Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell and get the biblical perspective on the events shaping the world.
What starts in Israel then ends up going to other places.
Watch Jerusalem Dateline Friday night at 8:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Life. It's meant to be lived fully. Jesus said it. I came to give you life. Life to the fullest. Life in your family. Life in your finances. Life in your body, mind, and spirit. Life in your everyday. At CBN.com, we're taking what Jesus said seriously. We're here to help you discover life. Life. Live it fully. CBN.com.
And welcome back to Studio 5. Time now to take you back to Nashville for a Studio 5 Sessions performance from Elias Dummer. Here he is with Expectations.
Come with faith like a child, bring trust and wonder, and hands lifted higher and higher, 'cause you know he'll carry you home. Come with faith like the young, bring dreams and vision, and a heart that burns with desire to see the kingdom come. It burns with desire to see the kingdom come. With expectation, our God is here with us. Holy Spirit, meet us as we are. Awaken us, your holy fire. All we want is all you are. Here in expectation. Come with faith by thread, bring doubt and hurt, and the questions that echo in your head. God can take it. Come with faith like the old, bring dreams and wisdom and a heart that knows the difference between doubt and a love grown cold. It still burns with desire to see the kingdom come. The expectation our God is here with us. Holy Spirit, meet us as we are. Awaken us your fire. All we want is all you are. Here in expectation.
Thank you, Elias Dummer. Again, that is the first single from his second solo project, which is called The Work Volume 2. Keep your ears open for that release in the coming weeks, and we are checking in with Elias for one more time. We're going to get his final word in just a little bit. But before we get to that, we have made it to the final story in this week's countdown of the 5 best stories in uplifting entertainment. Here's number 1.
At number 1.
Watch me hit a few balls. All right. So tell me your names again.
I'm Venus. I'm Serena.
So what'd you think?
The lives of tennis stars Venus and Serena Williams are coming to the big screen.
What's going on? Everybody okay?
They got a call, said there was trouble in the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You all need to look around.
The film is called King Richard and stars Will Smith as the Williams sisters' father, who introduced them to the game and was their very first tennis coach.
I wrote me a 78-page plan for their whole career before they was even born.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
These girls so great, how come I've never heard of them?
They're from Compton. It's okay. They're just not used to seeing good-looking peoples like us. She's nervous. They can step up. Maybe she ought to take a few more steps up. Just get someplace safe.
I think you might just have the next Michael Jordan.
Oh, no, brother man. I got me the next, too.
King Richard hits theaters in November.
This next step you got to take, you're not going to just be representing you. You're going to be representing every little black girl on earth.
I'm not gonna let you down.
How could you?
Introducing the CBN Bible from cbn.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. Or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.
This is CBN News Watch.
Thanks for joining us.
Watch breaking news, exclusive stories and programs, credible news reporting.
We show you what's happening in the world and how you can pray about it.
This is CBN News Watch, because truth matters. Weekdays at 5 on the CBN News Channel.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh, no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
The Millsburg Falls man coming.
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes, too. And so much more! Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon. It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
Welcome back to Studio 5. This week's soundtrack comes courtesy of Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, better known these days as Silk Sonic. Take a listen and see why Skate is what's playing in my ear. Skate. Silk Sonic does it again with another fun summer tune. On that musical note, it's time to take a look ahead to next week's edition of Studio 5.
I know what you do.
Singers and songwriters.
They have to think we do.
Going behind the scenes of Aretha Franklin's Respect.
What was your connection to Aretha? Did you have a chance to interact with her before her passing?
With the film's director.
Aretha, we used to climb up on the roof and sing as loud as we could to drown them out.
And the film's star.
Right after I won my Oscar for Dreamgirls, she wanted to meet me. And it was in New York. It was now, what, maybe 15 years ago?
The wait is over, and it's time for...
What you want? Baby, I got what you need. You know I got it. All I'm asking is for respect.
And we are excited to bring that to you next week. Before we say goodbye today, though, we want to allow singer and songwriter Elias Dummer to have the final word.
If you could go back in time and speak to young Elias Dummer, what advice would you give him?
Man, I would say something along the lines of, it's okay to take your time. It's okay. To be patient with yourself and the people around you. I'm a person with high expectations of myself and high expectations and hopes for the world. And for the church, honestly. And at times that's left me maybe not at my kindest. And I think if there's one thing that I wish I had, learned younger, is patience and kindness in helping people and myself get to where maybe things need to be.
Thank you, Elias. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching.